campaign called He for She. I am reaching out to you because we need your help. We want to end gender inequality, and to do this, we need everyone involved. This is the first campaign of its kind at the UN. We want to try to mobilize as many men and boys as possible to be advocates for change. And we don't just want to talk about it. We want to try and make sure that it's tangibly. I was appointed as Scottville ambassador for UN Women 6 months ago, and the more I spoke about feminism, the more I realized that fighting for women's rights has to often become synonymous with men hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it's that this has to stop. For the record, feminism by definition is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of political, economy, and social equality of sex. I started questioning gender-based assumptions a long time ago. When I was 8, I was confused for being called bossy because I wanted to direct the piece that we would put on for our parents, but the boys were not. When at 14, I started to be sexualized by certain elements of the media. When at 15, my girlfriends started dropping out of sports teams because they didn't want to appear masculine. When at 18, my Mac friends expressed their feelings, I decided that I was feminist, and this seemed complicated to me, but my recent research has shown me that feminism has become an unpopular word. Women are choosing not to identify as feminists. Apparently, among the ranks of women, those expressions are seen as too strong, too aggressive, isolating, and anti-man, unattractive even. Why has the word become such an uncomfortable one? I am from writing, and I think it is right I am paid the same as my AL counterparts. I think it is right that I should be able to make decisions about my own body. I think it's right that women be involved on my behalf in the politics and decision that will affect my life. I think it is that right that socially I am afforded the same respect as men, but sadly I can say that there is no one country in the world where all women can expect to see these rights. No country in the world can yet say that they achieved gender equality. This right I consider to be human right, but I am one of the lucky ones. My life is a sheer privilege because my parents didn't love me less because I was born a daughter. My school didn't limit me because I was a girl. My mentors didn't assume that would go as far because I might give birth to child one day. These influences were the gender equality ambassadors that made me who I am today. They may not know it, but they are in the feminism that are changing the world today. We need more of those, and if you still hate the word, it is not the word that is important, it is the idea and the ambition behind it, because not all women have received the same right I have. In fact, statistically, very have in 1999, Hillary Clinton made a famous speech in Beijing about women's rights. Sadly, many of the things that she wanted to change are still to today. But one sold out of me the most was the last man. 30% of the audience were male. How can we ever change in the world when only half of it is invited or feel welcome to participant in the conversation? Man, I would like to take this opportunity to extend your formal invitation. Gender equality is your issue too, because to date I've seen my father's role as a parent being valued less by society, despite my need of his presence as a child. As much others, I have seen young men suffering from mental illness, unable to ask for help for fear it will make them less of a man. In the fact, in the UK, suicide is the biggest killer of men between 20 to 49, eclipsing road accident, coronary heart disease. I've seen man-made magnet insecure by a discourse of what men don't have the benefit of equality. We don't often talk about men being imprisoned by gender stereotypes, but I can see that they are, and that when they are free, things will change for women as a natural consequence. If men don't have to be aggressive in order to be accepted, women won't feel complete to be submissive. If man doesn't have one have to be controlled, but men and women should feel free to be sensitive. But men and women should feel free to be strong. It is time that we all perceive gender on a spectrum instead of two sets of opposing ideals. If we stop defining each other by what we are not and start defining ourselves by who we are, we can be all free. And this is what he for she is about. It is about freedom. I want men to take up this mantle so that their daughter, sisters, and mother can be free from prejudice, but also that their sons have permission to be vulnerable and human too. Reclaim those parts of themselves they abandoned, and in doing so, be a more true and complete version of themselves. You might be thinking, who is this Harry Potter girl and what is she doing speak at the UN? And it is a really good question I've been asking myself. Then the same thing, all I know that I care about this problem and I want to take I better. And having seen what I've seen and given the chance, I feel it is my responsibility to say something. Statesman Edmund Burke said, all that is needed for the forces of evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. In my nervousness for this speech and in my moments of doubt, I took myself firmly. If not me, who? If not now, when? If you have similar doubt when opportunities are presented to you, I hope those words will be helpful, because the reality is that if we do nothing, it will take 75 years or for more to be nearly 100 before women can expect to be paid the same as men for the same work. 15.5 million Kirk will be arrived in the next 16 years, and currently it won't be until 2089. Rural African girls can secondly uh, believe in equality. You might be one of those feminists that I spoke of earlier, and for this I applaud you. We are struggling for a uniting word, but the good news is we have this a knitting movement. It is called He for She. I invite you to step forward to be seen and to ask yourself, if not me, who? If not now, when? Thank you very much.